What's up? Back with Jeff the Mellows. Say hi. Okay, you're irrelevant. Today we're doing the first of 3 movie tier lists that we plan to make because content. Today we're doing Pixar movies, Disney Pixar. They're in chronological order from the first release in 1995 to this year, 2020. And we're going to rank them. It's actually not as long as some of my previous tier lists, but they're still pretty long.
Wait, Tyler. Are we sure that it will record this audio as well?
It will. It's going into my microphone off my phone, remember?
Oh, okay. Sick.
Yes. Alright, anyway, let's get right down into it. And we're doing the icon of Disney Pixar, Toy Story 1.
A tier. Let's start there.
I gotta say A tier as well.
It was a really good one to start off the Pixar universe, and it did really well. And I might have a little bit of a bias towards Buzz Lightyear because he's been fucking annihilating my humor bone, my funny bone more recently. So yeah. Also, the animation style in that movie was really, really shit. And it's you go back and watch it, and it's kind of almost hard to watch. That's why it's not even S tier.
That's why it was pretty. I actually remember it was pretty bad.
The first one, I mean, they got better as they went, but God, Jesus Christ! Literally every single kid that was about Andy's age that went to that birthday party, and plus all the kids in the freaking Pizza Planet or whatever the fuck, they all had literally the same face. So, yeah. That was pretty tight.
Yeah, it was.
But the story itself was
I actually
incredible.
have this on DVD. I have the movie on DVD, but I don't like watching it because it has the THX logo intro thing at the beginning. That was terrifying. That was terrifying as a kid. The most terrifying thing I've ever had. Well, I wouldn't say that, but close.
Yep, same for me.
Oh yeah, Dan Snake's here too. He's just listening in, commenting when he feels like it. Alright, moving on. Bug's Life. Surprising this movie isn't. I'm gonna go C because it wasn't a horrible movie, but there was the middle portion to end, the between the middle of the movie to the end, but not the middle and the end. That part, that was pretty dead part for me. I don't really have fond memories of that. The beginning though was pretty good. It has some good moments, but just not strong all the way through, I'd say.
Candy corn! That's pretty much all I remember. The fucking fat caterpillar guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Moving on. Toy Story 2.
A tier, maybe even S tier. That one was so much better than the first one. And it had a bunch of good, really funny bits in it, too. And it had Al from Al's Toy Barn, and that's gotta be one of my favorite characters in Pixar ever. Al's
a legend.
He's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it's great. Good fond memories from this movie.
Yeah, definitely. I've watched it more times than I have the first, or the third, or the fourth. I mean, I've only watched the fourth one twice, though, so that's not saying much. But yeah, the second one was really, really good.
Yes. Moving on to Monsters, Inc. I just recently had seen this, so I can give a little more of a in-depth detail on it. But Monsters, Inc. is up next.
This is kind of a hard one for me, because I don't know if it would be considered among the best, but I definitely have really, really fond memories of it. But also, it's kind of hard to place on there. It's definitely going to be higher, A, S, maybe even B, but I don't know.
I'll give it A. I don't know if it's an S tier movie. Definitely A, though. Gave us some good memes, too.
Yeah.
There's some quality memes from that movie. Any movie that gives us quality memes is definitely a higher rank.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Memeability. Woo!
Moving on to
Content.
one of the first movies I think I ever saw as a kid, because it came out the year I was born. Finding Nemo.
Really? Yeah. It was one. It's definitely one of my childhood favorites. Not a favorite now. Like looking back, it's a really good movie. I think I'd have to put it right there with Monsters Inc. as well.
So A.
Yeah.
I have a lot of nostalgic memories from this movie, especially the ending credits for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too. I can remember the end credits for that movie.
The song. I'm still looking for that song. It was a good song. I think we got our first S tier movie, and the reason why is the overwhelming demand it had for a sequel, and it finally got one a couple years ago. Incredibles.
That is a very, very incredible movie, pun intended. The story is great. The way that they integrated, like freaking the life of these superheroes plus their superhero skills, but it was more focused on them as like parents and a family and stuff. But the whole subplot, the whole philosophy that once everybody's super, nobody will be, that is a very, very good philosophy. And actually, I might do my own separate video about that because I have quite a bit to talk about on that. But yeah, definitely S tier. Very, very good movie. Now, we'll get to the second one later, and that one, buddy. But yeah, this one, Syndrome, incredible. Mr. Incredible as a character, incredible. Elastigirl, Violet, Dash, absolutely incredible.
And then, of course, his number one fan. I don't remember the rest. I don't remember his actual name.
His name was
Buddy.
It was Syndrome. And don't forget Frozone as well. Samuel L. Jackson came in to play that. Are incredible. It's a
great movie. I find it a travesty that I didn't watch this movie full in length until like about 2 years ago.
It's so good.
It was that one movie that I always saw the beginning part of, but never got to see the rest of it. Finally got around to seeing the rest of it a couple years ago. I'm glad I did. All right, moving on to my personal favorite. This is Cars. Pretty underrated movie because of the other two that have came out since, but we'll get to those later.
Sorry, LT, if you're watching. Honestly, you're going to have to put Cars wherever you want. I'd argue that it's lower. It's not... I wouldn't say it's one of the best Pixar movies. I would put it maybe B tier. C tier, in my opinion. But if I'm going to put it C tier, and I'm assuming you're probably going to put it A or S, we should probably put it on B.
I'm putting it A.
So, rep my opinions then.
I don't know, I have a nostalgic feel to this. I watched it a bunch as a kid, and I still love it to this day. Many people aren't fond with the concept of the movie, but I am.
It's just Bug's Life with the sequel, several thousand years into the future.
Yeah, we'll get to the sequel later. Okay, I'm not going to be so generous to that one. Moving on to another great movie that I'm also surprised hasn't gotten a sequel yet. Ratatouille.
Yeah, they couldn't do a sequel for that. I think it's good as it is. S tier, A tier, one of the two.
I'm going to say S. Very underrated
top-notch movie. Incredible music to the point where like the song from it is being memed on like TikTok, and I'm not a big fan of TikTok, but still it shows how good of a movie it is. And like there was some really good voice acting in that movie and a lot of good like art and all that. And it also has a pretty good meaning and philosophy behind it.
I liked it. Very underrated movie, I think, when I was watching it. I was like, oh, Ratatouille, that's not that great. But actually, it was pretty good. Had a lot of satisfying moments in it for me. It's a very satisfying movie.
It is. It's a very satisfying movie. And the film score for that movie and Incredibles, while I'm here, are two of the best film scores for a Pixar movie I've ever heard. But not the best, which we'll talk about later.
All right. This next one, I'm going to rank it before I even say what the name of it is, because it is definitely an S tier movie. Gotta give it to WALL-E. Come on.
Wall-E? Yeah,
Yes,
good movie.
This
Really
is
good
definitely
movie.
an S tier
Still a
movie.
good soundtrack, but still not number one. Wall-E is an absolutely incredible movie. It is very underrated. My parents don't like it because it's like it's about robots. They don't even talk, and I'm like, it's about so much more than robots.
Oh yes,
It's about love and fat people and
fat people.
space. And the Wall-E. I guess.
It's just, it's got a lot of love
Eve,
meaning.
by the way, oh, you freaking annoying people out there. Her name is not Eva. It says that her name is Eve. Wall-E says Eva. Eve.
Oh, so many great moments from this movie. I haven't.
Eve. Eva.
So many. It's a very classic movie. I loved it. It's one of my favorite games ever that I've ever played for the DS was a Wall-E game. Sadly, I lost it twice, and I can't find it. But I have it on the PS2 though, and the PS3. It's on my grandma's PS3. I don't have a PS3. She does, but so I played it both times there. It's not as good though.
Yeah,
moving
Wall-E's
on.
Definitely S tier though.
Moving on to another great movie, but one that's kind of like A Bug's Life to me. What's Up? And I just don't.
Are you kidding me?
No. Let me explain. I love the movie. It's great. I just don't think it has like a strong. I don't think it has a strong mid section. You know what I mean?
You've got to be fucking kidding me. I could
And
not
overall,
disagree
though,
with you anymore.
Overall,
I'd
say it's a top tier movie. But
it is an S tier movie. The film score for Up is number one on my Pixar film score list. The sadness in the first freaking 10 minutes of the movie, absolutely incredible. Puts you into a mood. The characters, that stupid Boy Scout kid, the adventurers out there guy, incredible bad guy, incredible story, incredible philosophy, incredible
I will say though,
why the movie's made.
I think Up marked the end of the OG Pixar realm time thing where this is before they really stopped caring about making good quality movies with good quality messages and stopped, because look at this, there's only one movie series to this point that got sequeled, and that was Toy Story. I mean, come on, it's Toy Story. Of course they're gonna sequel it. But you got the other ones coming up, sequel. There's half of the next ones are sequels, and I don't know. We'll just get to them.
They definitely do have some good ones. I'll talk about the good ones that I definitely would rank really high. But you can't put Up anywhere lower than S tier.
I put it in S tier. God,
it is an absolutely incredible.
I probably have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it in a while, but
it's so good.
All right, moving on to Toy Story 3. This is one of the first. I think this is the first Pixar movie I watched in the theater. It came out in 2010, and I like this movie.
It's a good one.
It
ended with Toy Story 3.
Yeah, it has
the most. I'm kind of getting into Toy Story 4 now, but
has the most perfect ending.
It's a tear-jerking movie. It's really good. It put a great, solid end to the story that we all grew up with. It came out in 2008. 2010. Okay. It was one definitely an A or an S tier movie.
I don't know if I want to put an S. I don't know if I want to.
Well, do we have Toy Story 2? Where do we have that?
Toy Story 2 is A.
Okay, well, I don't think it... Oh, this is kind of... I kind of feel like it should go below Toy Story 2 for me. Just because, I've had so many more fond memories of Toy Story 2 than
I guess
3.
I'll move Toy Story 2 up, because I'm definitely not putting Toy Story 3 any lower than A tier.
Right. So maybe we should move Toy Story 2 to A, and Toy Story... to S, and then Toy Story 3 to A.
That's what I did.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
All right, here we go. First, E tier. F is only for, the racist ones and stuff, that kind of stuff. E tier. Cars 2, going to E tier.
Yeah.
This movie was a complete travesty.
I watched it recently again, and sorry, LT, but it is not a good movie. I agree.
It is a horrible movie. Completely derives away from the whole main point of the first movie.
Yeah.
Was completely unnecessary. It focused, a side character became the main character, and that almost never works. Just had two completely contradicting storylines coming into one. It just didn't mix. It was really unnecessary.
It was not
another movie. All right, moving on to another movie that I don't think is going to be very. I'm going to put a D tier to start here, and this is Brave.
Put it at C tier. Put it with Bug's Life.
Okay, C tier. Not too fond of this movie.
It's definitely a good movie. But it could be better. But it also could be worse. I wouldn't put it as low as D, because there are movies that need to go there. But I would leave it at C. For me, it's not a very memorable movie. But
Definitely
I do
not.
remember it being a good one that I watched more than twice. So, no, I'd put it at C.
Yeah. I've watched it a few times. It's just, it has its moments, but like, kind of some annoying characters, for sure. Very annoying characters.
Disney made fun of it in Wreck-It Ralph 2. When they were in the princess room, nobody could understand what Merida, who's the main character in Brave, was saying. Like, literally, like, because she was, like, Scottish, and like, they were making fun of it there. A lot of people dislike the movie, but I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people make it sound. But it's definitely not good, or as good as, like, Up, or
we'll say it's not a top tier movie, but we'll say it's better than Cars 2.
It's a passing grade.
Monsters University is up next, another one that I saw in the theater.
That one I would put either A or B.
I'm gonna say B.
That one was a really good sequel.
It was a good sequel. One that focused more on the origins of the main story versus continuing the main story.
Right, and I'm kind of glad that they did that. Thinking back,
well,
when I first heard of it, I was thinking, well, this is dumb. You know, it's not very often that you get sequels for movies. Like, they don't really do that. They don't really do origin stories that often. And when they do, it's usually for, like, a Marvel movie or something like that, or Star Wars. And you never see it for, like, these smaller animated movies. And
yeah.
I'm glad they did it, though. I'm really glad. Because it turned out really good. It's got a lot of good characters. I think it belongs in B.
I'll say B. Inside Out's another one. Is the next one.
Okay. So, controversial opinion. I think it's an A.
A?
I think it's an A.
I don't know. It's definitely no lower than... I'd say B.
I mean, it speaks to me, man. The depression that Riley felt, nobody was listening to her, and she had, like, no friends. That was my life, Tyler. That was my life.
It's not your life anymore, though.
To the school district that I'm going to currently, I had no friends. I was so depressed. And I actually did run away. Not once, but twice. And this movie spoke to me. Bing Bong, oh my god. Now that was a sad death.
Oh, that was a sad death, I will.
For Inside Out is also, I'd put it right up there with freaking Up. Because whenever I listen to it, it brings back memories. I would definitely put it in A tier for me personally.
It gives me a little bit of a bitter taste. Inside Out does, mainly because we had to watch it in health class, and she made the movie not fun. Every time we have to watch a movie in school nowadays, it always makes it not fun. So it gives a little bit of a bitter taste to it. There's another movie coming up in this tier list that also has that same bitterness to it. We'll get to that one.
But that one was for Spanish, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. All right, we got 3 in between now and then. All right, let's continue.
I watched Inside Out in German as well, and I just feel like it's definitely a rewatchable movie. I would put it at A.
Well,
but,
definitely.
If you don't feel like it should go in A,
I put it in B. I put it in B because it's not a.
Settle.
I put it in B because it's not a bad movie, but it's not top tier. I wouldn't say, but it's not a bad movie by any means.
No, not at all.
No, this is a controversial one. This is the Good Dinosaur. Well, not controversial, I wouldn't say.
Ooh, buddy. Now that one, it should be F tier, but it's because you're going to reserve that for racism, I guess, or something stupid like that.
Oh, F?
Oh, God, The Good Dinosaur is such a bad movie. To the point where I've only ever seen it once. The only thing I remember from that movie is freaking the reverse role of the dinosaur being intelligent and the people being unintelligent, them getting high off shrooms. That's all I remember from
I'm putting it in E because F is for like the offensive racist ones. And I don't think The Good Dinosaur was racist. It might have been, but I don't think it was. It's one of only 2 movies on this list that I haven't seen before. The other one that we haven't done yet. So I left that all up to you for that because I haven't seen it before. And it just never appealed to me. Even it's being a fan, I'm a dinosaur guy, but like that movie just didn't appeal to me at all. In the trailers or anything.
They were freaking dinosaur farmers. They were farmers, Tyler.
Oh my god. All right, well, let's not waste our breath.
In the Southwest.
Oh my god. Let's not waste our breath on that thing anymore then. Finding Dory next.
C tier.
Probably. It's not the worst movie out there.
Yeah, it's not the worst sequel, but it wasn't that great.
It's another one, though, that did focus on the...
secondary character.
Focused on the origins of a secondary character. Yeah, secondary character. And then incorporated it into continuing the main story. But...
yeah.
It didn't really work. It didn't really work, in my opinion.
No, it didn't work for me either.
I would have liked to see more character development with Marlin and his wife, Coral. Coral? Corral.
I want to see more, what the fuck is the shark's name?
Bruce?
All I can think of, Bruce. All I could think of right then and there was fucking, hi, Mark. But it's, hello, Bruce. And I want to see a movie
Here's Brucey. Here's Brucey.
Here's Brucey. Good movie.
All right, Cars 3 up next.
Right there with Cars 2, maybe.
No, it's definitely not as bad as Cars 2. It's not as good as the original Cars. It's definitely not a top tier. I think up until the ending of the movie, it's probably a B or a low A. But with the ending, I'm going to relegate it down to a C. And here's why. Because I hate the ending. It's like if they did Toy Story, it's like basically the ending of Toy Story 4. They completely ruined the ending, completely separated a childhood icon for many people, and they put this random ass secondary character that we just found out about into this monumental, rebounding sort of thing. And they did it for one reason and one reason only, and that was for feminism reasons, but I won't get into that because that's political. Not a great ending at all. I hated the ending, but the rest of the movie was pretty strong. Glad they didn't go back to whatever crap they had from Cars 2. Completely threw that to the wayside, which was good job, Pixar. You did good there. But definitely, if it had a good ending, if it had not even a good ending, just an average ending, it'd probably be a low A tier for me, but see it gets. All right, we got 4 left. And Coco. I've seen this so much. I've seen this like 6 times in Spanish class. I don't think I've ever watched the English version. I don't think I've ever watched the English version. I've watched it all in Spanish.
I watched the English version. Honestly,
I don't think
it's as and I love it.
I don't think it's as bad as Cars 2 and Good Dinosaur. I'm gonna put it in the D tier though.
Opinion, I think it is. It's the whole. I don't want this to sound racist, but I think it's the whole Mexican heritage thing, the Spanish heritage. Like, they need to stop making movies about the Day of the Dead and dead. Like, that, it didn't work with the Book of Life. I don't think it worked for this either. Now, this one didn't. This one wasn't as bad as The Book of Life, which isn't a Pixar movie, but that's off topic. This one had its ups for sure, and the plot twist was incredible. I will say that.
That was a good plot twist.
It was a good one. But I just don't think it did it for me. I don't think. Well, okay, so I think it's either a D or a C, from my opinion. It wasn't.
I'm putting it in D
it just
tier.
Didn't work for me.
I put it in D tier. That's partially because if I hadn't watched it, if I hadn't gotten the ruined it because watched it in school crap, probably be a C tier, but it's a D tier.
I watched Coco, which is a Spanish movie in German. Yeah,
Weird.
I watched Coco, a Spanish movie in English. Once.
I've seen Coco in 3 different languages. Still doesn't make it any better.
I've only seen it in one language. It's not even my native language. All right, moving on. We got 3 left. One of the most hyped up sequels of the modern era, Incredibles 2.
Okay.
Underwhelming.
So,
That's what I'm gonna say.
Very underwhelming. I was expecting 10 years in the future. I was expecting them to be older, but no. Right off the bat, hits you with them right after the end of the first fucking movie with the Underminer. Oh, here's my problem with that. The things that people were going through in the time period that they left off on in the first movie is completely different than what it was in the second movie. Even though it was literally days, weeks, months after the first movie was the second movie's main thing. And I feel like the technology improved way too much. I feel like everything was way, way, way too much different. But I won't say it's a bad movie. It was pretty good. A thing that I kind of have a problem with is that, the story wasn't... The bad guy wasn't really that strong of a reason to be a bad guy. Whereas Syndrome just wanted everybody to be elite, to make superheroes a normal thing, and therefore making it irrelevant. But, like, the bad guy in this one just wanted to make superheroes look bad because Dad died because superheroes were banned and didn't answer phone. You know what I mean?
Okay, I lied. I actually have never seen this movie. So
I know what you
Never
mean.
seen Incredibles 2?
no, this is actually I haven't seen 3 movies on this list.
Oh my god!
Good Dinosaur,
Christ.
Incredibles 2, and there's one more.
I saw Incredibles 2, but only part of it.
So where should it go?
B tier, I think.
I'd say
Alright.
C or below.
I don't think it's that bad. It still had its pluses. Every part of it where it was freaking Mr. Incredible trying to deal with his kids was freaking hilarious. And pretty much before we found out the reason why the bad guy was the bad guy, it was pretty good for the Elastigirls arc. So I'd put it at B tier.
Alright, I put it in B. Toy Story 4 up next, and I think this one's gonna go be a D tier.
I think it's B.
B. It had a strong
I think
plot,
that you
but
have a lot of anger for it that is kind of unnecessary.
it's just it was an unnecessary movie with an unnecessary ending. They brought Bo Peep back.
I agree.
Which I don't think was a very strong.
The ending was unnecessary. But here's the thing. I still cried when Buzz and Woody left. I still cried, Tyler.
Well, yeah, but it was like unnecessary. I mean, come on. They didn't need the way they left too. That wasn't necessary. Okay.
I know, right?
Here's your problem. Here's your guys' problem. You're judging this movie based off of other movies. You need to judge this movie like you've never seen the other 3. And now, as a movie, this one was pretty okay. Now, I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as good as the other 3. But, make a toy comes to life, toy just thinks it's trash.
Oh yeah. Another main reason why I don't like this movie is because it's so cringily depressing. All right,
It is very depressing. It is very depressing.
This toy that Bonnie creates is literally clinically depressed at birth, and literally just calls himself trash until the very end of the freaking movie. Like, what the hell are you trying?
Literally tries to commit suicide the whole time.
Like, what the hell, Pixar? Jesus Christ! That's what I didn't really. And the ending sucked too. I moved it up to C to compromise, but it's with an asterisk.
Okay.
And then the last one on here that I haven't seen yet because it came out this year, and of course, you know, COVID and everything, I can't go to the theaters. Plus, I don't really care. Onward.
It was a good movie. I have Disney Plus. I have seen it. Now, I think it's a B tier because it could be better. It wasn't really that funny. A lot of the funny bits weren't that great. I was really looking forward to it too because it was Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. And
I think it had a good plot coming in, as far as I could tell from the trailers.
The ending was absolutely incredible. It was tear jerking. It was, what the main character, who I don't remember any of their names, did for his brother was absolutely incredible. And that's why I would put it maybe low A tier, but, I'm going to put it at B tier because the rest of the movie was kind of irrelevant and boring. There was a lot of boring in there, too, and, the only thing that I really remember laughing at was the freaking horse guy saying working hard or hardly working, but only because my sister was laughing about it. She thought it was the funniest thing in her entire life. And that's the only reason why I'm gonna put it there at B tier. That's the reason why I'm putting it at B tier, because it was kind of like a boring, almost forgetful movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, well, Pixar is complete. Let's review. We got 5 S tier and 5 A tier, 4 B tier, 5 C tier, 1 D tier, and 2 E tier, and 0 in the F tier, which means Pixar is not racist.
Okay. Before we go, there are 2 more coming up. I can't remember what one of them is. One of them is Soul, and
I didn't do upcoming.
I know it's not on there. But I do want to talk a little bit about it. Because I just want to give my thoughts about it before it comes out, before actually get to watch it. So initially, the first trailer I watched, it was good. I was kind of excited. It looked like a really cool, it was about music and what music does for your soul. And I can connect to that as well because I don't just listen to music, I feel music. And I thought that was what it was gonna be about. But no, it really just looks like a crappy ripoff of Inside Out now. And I'm not a big fan of the way they're going. We'll have to wait until it comes out, because, we haven't seen it yet. But, it might be good, but it also might not be. So,
right.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's the Pixar movie tier list done. Actually, this is going to go up tomorrow at the time we're recording this, actually. So I'm going to upload it, schedule it for tomorrow. So,
there was another one.
Yeah, there's another one coming out soon. I saw it on the list. I saw it on the upcoming list when I was making the list. But so this video will probably be outdated pretty soon. But who cares? But anyway, guys, till next time. See you guys later.
God, Cars 4?
They're making a...
Please, God, no.
Alright. Anyway, guys, till next time. See you guys later. Goodbye.